Right here, Sean. You got 100 each side. Let's go. Last night I had a dream. I literally had a dream that there was a hitman chasing me around trying to kill me. And I just kept dodging the bullets. I've never in my life, I've never had a dream like that. It's crazy. I do believe dreams have some symbolic meaning. And I don't know, maybe the bullets were like the bad news that just, I make a left turn, we figured that out, boom, hit in the face again with bad news. Make a right turn, solve that problem, boom, hit in the face again with bad news. Keep going. I don't need more bad news. Bad news would be you not finishing your workout. Go. Mazel tov, baby. From now on, when good things happen, we only speak in Hebrew.
Hi.
Hey, did you see June 13th, Jacksonville, we're go?
Yeah.
We got to market the hell out of that. It really started with an email from Hobie Call, our original gangster. He had sent me an email and he said, look, the world needs some hope. The world needs to get healthy. You have to get a race back on the calendar. I was furious that the UFC pulled off their event in Florida before us. I've always been a little competitive with the UFC. And then sure enough, right after that event went off, the governor of Florida reached out to us and said, do you want to do an event? And I said yes. This idea was, the second we get an inkling anywhere in the world that the window is open and we can put on an event, we have to put on an event. Now that's going to piss some people off, and it did. I was lucky enough to get invited to a weekly call with a bunch of owners of teams, of leagues, you know, soccer, rugby, baseball, etc. So I'm on the phone with all these very powerful men and women that are running teams and leagues, the NHL. All their data said that about 30% of the fans of all those sports are just not ready. They're not going to be ready for a while to go back to an event, a sporting event. But 70% are licking their chops and can't wait to get back. Quickly laid out protocols. Florida looked at them. We went back and forth. We figured out what the gold standard could look like. They're wearing masks when they're not racing, right? There's not going to be a big festival area like there always has. There's going to be sanitization stations, which is awesome. Smaller heat sizes, wider course. So, and there's just going to be less participants. It was great. June 13th. So our CMO had started talking to a coach, and she liked it. The theory was, hey Joe, think of the best athletes in the world. They all have coaches. So why wouldn't an executive have a coach?
Hey Joe, this is Kristen, your coach, and a little backstory here. I've been working with some of your other executives, and they said, you know what, Joe could really use somebody who's a sounding board and helps him filter and focus his talent.
Listen, your ego, my ego immediately jumps up. What? Fuck, I don't need a fucking coach. But I don't know where I picked it up along the line over the last 40 plus years of doing business that you got to just have an open mind. And so I love this idea of owning it. The coach is helping me twice a week. We talk for a half hour and ask me, what's going well, what's not going well, and it's good. We all need to be held accountable. I mean, that's our whole mission at Spartan, is to hold people accountable so that they do the work to become the best version of themselves, and so that's all this is. If I was doing everything right, a coach would not have appeared on my phone. So there must be something I'm not doing right. We're going through tough times. If anything, I'm not going to go backwards with it. It's got to help me in some way, so I'm up for it.
When you think about the greatest leaders you know, do they have coaches? Do they have help? Do they have people pointing out and holding up mirrors around them and saying, tweak this, do this, polish this, edit this?
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I'm the one that argues to business folks, hey, we are Olympians. If we're running a business, we are Olympians, but yet we don't treat ourselves like Olympians. So that makes perfect sense. Shit, I might as well have 5 coaches then.
That's one of the things we're working on, slowing down to go fast, which is hard for a racehorse like you. It feels like you're putting a bit in your mouth, right? But we're talking about, again, filter and focus and harness that talent so it can be effectively leveraged.
What went on today? I got a coach now. Coach tells me I move too fast, I talk too fast, and I gotta slow down in order to speed up. What else happened today that was big news? Talking a lot about content today. I mean, content is our new world because we're not putting on races. I mean, we announced Jacksonville. Looks like some other states are opening, but we were running at 325 events a year now. Day 67, what's going through my mind? It's getting harder, not easier. I feel like we're in the middle of the tunnel, and you can see the light behind you when you enter the tunnel. And at some point you can see the light in front of you when you're going through the tunnel. But at the dead center, it's darkest. There's no light behind you, there's no light in front of you. And day 67 was supposed to feel like I could see the light in front of us. I was convinced that July 1st, we'd be pretty much back to normal. And every fucking day, I'm getting knocked in the teeth, every day. And I am Mr. Optimism, like you could just hit me with anything and I just bounce back. I'm like a trampoline. You hit me with bad news, it just boom, back in your face. Bad news, boom. My whole life I've been like that, but this trampoline's starting to get a little frayed. When this whole thing went down and we were shut in 45 countries overnight, 325 events not happening, not only was that a problem for our consumers, not only was it a problem for us, but it was also a problem for our sponsors. You gotta remember, sponsors, 50 plus sponsors from around the world, they pay us so that they have exposure to our customers, so they could add value to our customers, so we could tell stories for them. They could be on site, and that was gone overnight. And so what happens, right, is the phone rings and sponsors saying, look, we can't pay you what we were paying you before because you're not having those events. And obviously we understand that, but fuck. I mean, that's like a left hook. We just got punched in the face when the event shut down. Now we get a left hook from the sponsors. Most of my days became filled with talking to sponsors and talking them off the ledge and letting them know that we will come back. Can't really blame them, right? They're looking to renegotiate because their customers are not buying their products. I mean, this hit everybody. This didn't just hit Spartan. We just got to survive. I'm in survival mode now. Some good news, we'll have the largest virtual race that has ever existed on this planet. We will have literally millions of people registered for a giant virtual race that will span 100 countries. Could we pull off the largest virtual race in human history? And we did. We did over 3 million registrations. This thing's unbelievable.
Go!
Look, I think the 24-hour virtual race for sure gave us the roadmap to doing something really big. Like, could we invite the entire community to participate in a virtual race, give everybody a little bit of hope, get excited for the doors to open up again, for the lights to go on again, and man, they accepted the challenge with open arms. I'm not a big believer in virtual races, but there's a lot of countries where people can't participate because we don't have events. I don't know, it just doesn't feel the same. I want people out together. Somebody's got to take the first move, and that's going to be us. I can't ask a bunch of people to come out and do the first race globally after this pandemic and then not go down there myself. So myself, my family, we are jumping in a van with our whole crew that we've been on lockdown with for 75 days, even though we all want to kill each other by now. We're gonna stuff ourselves into a van with a bunch of workout equipment, and we are driving to Jacksonville, Florida.
So what are we gonna do? What's the plan here? Just gonna go on a little adventure?
We're going on an adventure.
I think this sounds
Truck.
pretty great. I think it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
How many people are going to be in the van, Joe?
10.
No.
A wrestling mat on the roof?
Courtney, Joe.
Yeah.
4 kids is 6.
Yeah.
Alberto, Andre is 8.
Okay.
John is
John?
9. The bird and the
bird
dog.
and the dog can't
The
come.
bird has to come.
It's a hot
The
trip.
bird has
for
to
a
come.
bird.
You can't go.
No, the bird.
We
can
can't go to
stay.
Jacksonville without the bird.
I think we have to pack light, just some backpacks.
Wrestling mat, ropes, the chain.
Bathing
The other
suits.
thing I want to do is I want to stop every single hour and do an exercise and film it.
So how many years do you think it's going to take you to get to Florida?
We're gonna leave Vermont pretty soon. It's gonna be a long drive. We're putting everybody in the car. We're gonna try to stop at some key locations along the way if we're allowed. Depends on what states are open, what states aren't open. And then obviously we got a lockdown in Florida pre-race. Right now it's just mass mayhem, trying to corral a bunch of cats. My family is a bunch of cats. Ooh, the bird's coming.
Chicken wing, hot dog, and banana. Chicken wing,
Blessings. Blessings. I think it's hailing. We gotta go, guys. What are we doing? We've been trapped in the car for the last 8 hours, and coming out here and seeing other human beings working out and sweating, I mean, this is our dream. I feel like the lights are back on. We're back in business.